In 1994, a football team looked at the scoreboard, looked at the clock, and made a decision that sounds completely insane. Barbados deliberately kicked the ball into their own net, not by accident, not because of a mistake, on purpose. And somehow, that own goal was the move that saved them. To understand how this happened, we need to enter one of the strangest matches in football history, Barbados versus Grenada, a game where for a few chaotic minutes, one team had to defend both goals. The story begins in the Caribbean Cup, a regional tournament for national teams in the Caribbean. It was January 1994. Barbados and Grenada were in a small qualifying group, and by the final match, the situation was simple. Grenada had the advantage. Barbados needed to beat Grenada by 2 goals to move ahead and qualify, not 1 goal, 2. So the mission was clear before kickoff. Win by 2 or go home. At first, Barbados did exactly what they needed to do. They scored once, then they scored again. The scoreboard read Barbados 2, Grenada 0. Perfect. With that score, Barbados were going through. Grenada were in danger. And for most teams, this is the point where you protect the lead, slow the game down, keep the ball, stay calm. But football has a cruel sense of timing. Late in the match, Grenada scored. Suddenly, it was Barbados 2, Grenada 1, and that 1 goal changed everything. Barbados were still winning the match, but they were no longer winning by enough. A 1-goal victory would not qualify them. Grenada, even while losing, would survive. Now Barbados had only minutes left. They needed 1 more goal. They attacked Grenada's net. They pushed forward. They tried to force the result back to 3-1, but the clock was disappearing. And then the tournament's strange rule became the center of the universe. This Caribbean Cup had a twist. If a match went to extra time, there would be a golden goal. The first team to score in extra time would win immediately, but in this tournament, that golden goal counted as 2 goals, not 1, 2. It was meant to encourage attacking football. Instead, it created a loophole. Barbados realized something wild. If the match ended 2-1, they were out. If they scored a normal goal to make it 3-1, they were through. But if they could not score against Grenada in time, there was another path. They could make the game a draw, then it would go to extra time, and if Barbados scored the golden goal, it would count double. The final score would become 4-2, a 2-goal win, exactly what they needed. So Barbados faced a choice: keep chasing a goal against a defending Grenada team, or create extra time themselves. And the fastest way to create extra time was not to score at Grenada's end, it was to score at their own. So near the end of normal time, Barbados did the unthinkable. They turned toward their own goal and scored an own goal. The scoreboard changed to Barbados 2, Grenada 2. In a normal match, this would be a disaster. In this match, it was a strategy. Barbados had sacrificed their lead to unlock extra time, but here is where the story gets even stranger. Grenada understood the loophole too. Once the score was 2-2, Grenada knew what Barbados wanted. Barbados wanted the draw. Barbados wanted extra time. Grenada did not. Grenada had 2 ways to stop it. If Grenada scored in Barbados' goal, they would lead 3-2 and qualify. That part is normal, but because a 1-goal loss was also enough for Grenada, they had another option. Grenada could score an own goal. If Grenada put the ball into their own net, Barbados would lead 3-2. Barbados would win by only 1, and Grenada would qualify. So, for the final minutes, the match became a football riddle. Grenada were trying to score in either goal. Barbados were trying to stop them from scoring in either goal. Imagine that. One team attacking both ends of the pitch, the other team defending both ends at the same time. Barbados had to protect their own net, like normal, but they also had to protect Grenada's net from Grenada. The tactics board had basically exploded. A pass toward Barbados' goal was dangerous. A pass toward Grenada's goal was also dangerous. A shot by Grenada at either end could eliminate Barbados. This was no longer just football. It was a logic puzzle in boots. For a few minutes, the normal rules of sport felt upside down. Grenada reportedly tried to get the ball into Barbados' net. Barbados blocked them. Then Grenada tried to move toward their own net. Barbados had to stop that too. Every clearance was risky. Every touch mattered. Even the direction of play became confusing. Fans and players were watching a match where the scoreboard made the impossible feel sensible, and then the whistle went. Full time. Barbados 2, Grenada 2. The own goal plan had worked so far, but Barbados still had one more job. They now had extra time. They still needed to score the golden goal. If Grenada scored first, Barbados were out. If nobody scored in the right way, the plan would mean nothing. The entire gamble came down to one moment. Extra time began, and Barbados, having survived the weirdest final minutes imaginable, attacked. Then came the payoff. Barbados scored the golden goal. Because of the tournament rule, that goal counted as 2. The official result became Barbados 4, Grenada 2, a 2-goal win, the exact margin Barbados needed. The team that had deliberately scored against itself had found a path through a broken rule, survived chaos, and qualified. Now, was this good sportsmanship? People have debated that for years, but the important point is this: Barbados did not break the rules. They exploited them. The rule had created incentives that made an own goal logical, and that is the lesson of this match. In football, rules do not just control the game, they shape the choices players make. If a rule rewards something strange, eventually a team will discover it. The golden goal counting double was designed to make extra time exciting. Instead, it produced one of the most bizarre endings the sport has ever seen. A team defending both goals, an opponent trying to score anywhere, and an own goal that was not a failure but a calculation. Barbados versus Grenada is remembered because it sounds impossible when you first hear it. A team scored on itself to save itself. But once you understand the rule, the madness becomes clear. It was not stupidity, it was strategy. It was football logic pushed to its strangest edge. And that is why in one Caribbean Cup qualifier in 1994, the smartest shot on the pitch was the one that went into the wrong net.